Hi, how to insert an image into your Zen Garden, which requires you to use your CSS. So please note, I've already linked it. I've added my own link here, which is the only change to the HTML that I have done. And if you look here, here is my CSS. Okay, so I kind of locate where I want to stick an image. So let's say I want to stick an image right next to or somewhere in this heading. That's the easiest way. Then I can say in Dreamweaver, if you use Dreamweaver, go open up the Dreamweaver palette, and then you need to first select where's the source, and that will be your own Zen CSS. Then I can go here, and since I have a cursor kind of in the general location, if I say I need a new selector, which is the plus under the selector palette, so I will expand it, plus, add a selector. Oops, probably did and couldn't see it. Okay, now I want a new selector, and it says, oh, do you want one that's the H3 in the Zen preamble in the Zen intro? And that's right here. So okay, then the easiest I found, just so that it doesn't go off of this, is to click on show set and then unclick on show set. Show set shows what's ever attached to it, and it just quickly allows me to activate this palette while staying on this selector. Okay, now where do I want to put it? In this case, I'm going to insert it an image. And so if I'm using again Dreamweaver, I can do it in a background image and then declare a sizing. So I can just click here, activate it, then browse with this folder. Hello, sometimes these things take a little bit of time. Let's try this again. Browse. There we go. Open up our images, find something I like, say OK. Now because, and that you can see a little bit touch of it, because it doesn't have any width and height, we have to give it to it. So first of all, decide whether or not you want it to tile and how you want to tile. So that's this background repeat, and I'll say no repeat. So it'll just stay in one place, and then I can look at its positioning and its size. So here I think I'll just move it over just a little bit. Oops. Let's say 50%. Let's try it in the middle first. So it's like vertical and horizontal, so I'm going to say with both of them 50%. There you go. You see how it's spaced here. Now I just have to give it some width and height. So I go back up here to layout, click on layout. That brings you to width and height real quick. I don't remember what it was. I'm going to try 200. That looks pretty good in 200. Oops, click in here again. And I want pixels. Whoops, come on, pixels. Then I can always, of course, adjust it. And there you go. That's here right now. I think I will make the width 100% so it spans the whole thing. I'm going to make the height, it's obvious that it's higher than what I see. Okay, good. And now I've inserted an image. If you go and look at your CSS, this is how it wrote it. You would, move things around, of course. Now another way you could do it I had pointed this out to you before, was to use, if you look at your source code and go all the way down, one of these extra divs here, and if you make them position absolute or position relative, actually, you can position them in certain places, but you'll do it position absolute. So you see its name is class extra 1. So this time I'm going to show it to you if you were coding it. So I just showed you how to do it using the Dreamweaver palette. Now to code it, so what do I want to do? Well, first thing is it's a class, and the class was called extra 1. You see here you got 6 of them. Double click. Okay, what do I want to do with extra 1? Now I'm going to do the curly brace, return, and I'm going to, again, to call up the image, it's going to be a background image, and I just browse, and I find it, and now this time I'll put in my logo, and I think that's 100 by 100, so okay, and I can tell it the same sort of things, and background repeat, nope, don't want a background repeat, so I'll just say no repeat, semicolon, return, give it the same kind of a background positioning just for now while well, you know what, I'm going to do background position, but I'm going to tell it to go to the top right. Top right. Now I can also do this in pixels, remember, as long as I do this. Position absolute. That allows you to describe the top and the bottom. Top, bottom right, or by pixels, top left. So I've positioned it absolute. And oops, that's right, I have to give it a width and a height because it's in the background, it's not really in this one. So the width will be 100 px semicolon return, and the height will be 100 px semicolon. Close the curly brace. Now file save all, and then I click here, and here's that image, but if I put it into live view, you're not going where I want you to go. I'll probably have to add in the prefixes. That's my best guess. This one went just fine. So let's go back to my CSS now. Here we go, and then the code view, and let's see what we did. We have the background image, I said background position, top right. Sounds good to me. But since I'm not seeing it really, you know, kind of a thing, why don't I do this? I'm going to go to a split screen. Whoops, don't want to do that. Go split screen here, just so I can see it. And now I'm going to take its position, and it was our background image, and I said top right. I'm going to see what if instead of top right, if I click on this and click here, maybe take it out. No. CSS Designer. As soon as I click that CSS Designer, so that I can have a little bit more control of it. See what I did? It's now allowing me to drag this image to where I was trying to get, and it's changing my properties in my CSS to reflect what I wanted it to do. I'm almost there at the top. I want to bring it over to here. So I have a feeling, yep, that I'm going to have to move it this way, let us try pixels. Now, let's see if I can move it. No. If I get in this arrow. No. Okay, let's try it this way. Since I did declare, I can do a top position. Let's try top, auto, and left here. Let's make this one pixels. There we go. And now I can move it over. I just have to say it in a different way. Oops. Come on. Just figure out which one I want to drop it in. There we go. A little bit more over here. Here we go. Drag and drop is still a little tricky, I think. Though I'm looking pretty good. And then if you just want to double check, of course, just preview it in the browser. If you want to see my CSS, here we go. And in this case, my positioning didn't really work. I can easily just comment that out right here. Apply the commenting it. And what did work was the positioning of left, and if I do a positioning of top, that will just help this a little bit more. So there you go.